All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, Rudolph trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play fake. Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The stop was made. By Jannard Avery. Second and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, it's Bell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Third and 2, Rudolph. Throw left side complete. That's James. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A first down carry by Elliott. Able to power through. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Here we go!
Second down, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Third and long for Mayfield. And an alley to run. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now,
Detroit,
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, it's Rudolph. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. The give is to Ben. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. From the gun, here's Rudolph. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Duke Johnson deep for Cleveland. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's pulled in at the 32. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Hot. Hot.
Mayfield on first down. Drops it underneath. Elliott takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Hot.
Here's Mayfield. A dump off to Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 5 yards. Is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, Mayfield. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. After the interception, here's Rudolph. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
From the 50, it's Rudolph. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Detroit.
Rudolph on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
A give to Elliott. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go. Blue landed.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Being chased out left. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. A give to Bell, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Rudolph. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Here we go.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
On 1st down, Rudolph. He'll rifle this one deep right. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Now Bell. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Steps away to his left. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, but the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield off the play fake. It's caught on the right side. Williams. His first catch of the game. Good for 11 and a 1st down.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. The give is to Elliott. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down.
And the Steeler pressured too much here. He's gone down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They go play action. Mayfield. He's got his man. It's Williams. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now Mayfield dancing to his left. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield to throw it. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And this one is right down the middle. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of your playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Here we go. Gun!
Out of the gun, Rudolph. Now he'll escape to his right. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Now it's Duke Johnson here on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24. Yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watching now, Barney.
A second down throw for Mayfield. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a better game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Mayfield looks to throw, and that will be incomplete as well. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Now Rudolph on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's a give to Bell running left. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
No, check. Patriot.
Now Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And the Browns getting set to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
To throw, Mayfield. And Callaway taking it in left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arm saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Watch it now, Barney. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Again, it's Rudolph. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Second down, Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cameron Hayward busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Buying time to his left. He's got his tight end, Njoku. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, here we go.
1st down, Mayfield. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now it's Rudolph. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Rudolph following the fumble recovery. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Rudolph on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
From the red zone now, Rudolph. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Bell. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Joe Schobert able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Nick Bawden, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. Extra point put through by Boswell. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Hayward in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Detroit! All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A gain of 32 that time. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Again, it's Elliott. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Got a man, it's complete. Williams, 23 yards on the play. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Boom,
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They go to Elliott again. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Cleveland, the win is their 8th on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to turn